This episode of the Honest Art podcast is for all of my representational painters out there. The folks who love to paint animals, like cows or chickens, or maybe you like to paint cars or flowers or even landscapes. All of those can be considered representational art because we're painting a thing, right? It's not abstract. So this episode is for you guys, right? So I'm going to say something that might piss people off. I'm going to say it anyway. Most of the representational art I see out there is really freaking boring. And the reason it's boring is because artists are painting what they see. Now, let me explain. I used to do the same thing. When I first started painting, especially, I would paint like a vase of flowers, right? I was painting what I saw. But my art was super uninteresting. And the reason that so much representational art is boring is because we are missing the one thing that could really make it amazing. And that is imparting the voice of the artist into the work, right? So if we are just painting what we see and we're not incorporating our own creative skills and our own creative gifts, then it's kind of like, it's just a little boring. So in this week's Honest Art podcast, I give you tips for how you can make representational art your own. So one of the things that I talk about is if you've got something that you're painting and you would normally grab, let's say, like a medium-sized brush to paint it, what if you instead grabbed a larger brush to create the image? Now, yes, we will lose a lot of detail if we go to a larger brush, but the really cool thing is when we lose the detail of the smaller brush and use the bigger brush instead, what happens is the viewer gets to participate in the painting more because their brain is trying to figure out, what needs to be where. So it's like an almost like an interaction with the piece. And the one person that I feel like did such a great job of this was when Basquiat was doing representational art, and he would leave things out here and there so that intentionally the viewer can participate. Now, there's lots of other things that I offered for you on how to make representational art your own and really interesting and not boring anymore. So head to your favorite platform for podcasts and take a listen.